It's on!
I can't believe that little boy turned 13 over the weekend. It just kind of dawned on me as we're watching that.
I was going to say the same thing. Mom and Dad are going through some stuff, as you guys can tell.
Welcome, everyone, to Disney Parks Talk Live here at laughingplace.com. I'm Rebecca Mosley, the co-founder of Laughing Place. And with me today is over there. That's my husband, Doobie. We made this little website, and then a lot of other people came along and joined the fun, including Jeremiah Good. He's the one who keeps us up to date on all things on the East Coast. How you doing, Jeremiah?
Good. This is weird.
You didn't give him a title?
This is weird.
And over there, that's Mike Celestino. He keeps us up to date on all the things on the West Coast.
Jeremiah, our vice president of pig ears, we have to get that. Yeah, we're live right now, guys. So if you'd like to participate in the chat, please do that. That's always fun. Ask us any questions, anything going on. Hello, Charles Johnson from Brooklyn, New York. What's up, Brooklyn? That's where I'm never been in my life.
Never been.
I think one time we drove over the bridge just to say we're in Brooklyn, and then we drove right back. This was on a tour bus, and I really had to go to the bathroom, and it was so frustrating. Anyway,
that's why everybody goes to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, you actually have to pay to get in and out of.
Remember that, hon? We got back, and I ran off the bus, and I ran into the Starbucks, and they're like, "We don't have a bathroom in here." What? And then I ran to the hotel, and
we had to run to the hotel. I remember that, running through Times Square to our hotel, which was.
And then you got there and went, "It's on! It's on! It's on!"
Talk about an exhale. I think I got on that tour bus having to go to the bathroom 2 hours later. Anyway, welcome to Parks Talk Live, as we said. So before we begin, I do want to point out that we are only 4 minutes away from one of the most monumental occurrences in the history of mankind. 2/22 on 2/22/22. So we cannot miss that moment. Whatever we're doing, somebody interrupt and say, now's the time.
Yeah, the East Coast got it already.
Missed it, yeah.
We don't care about you, Jeremiah. We don't care one bit. One little bit. The center of the world is the West Coast. Okay, let's get started with something that broke today. Not a huge story, but always fun when Disney gets a new sponsor and it's a big enough deal that they actually put out do a big thing for it. I think a Good Morning America thing. Or anyway, State Farm, nationwide. Oh, wrong company. See, this is why they need the additional branding.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah, State Farm. What do you think? Like it's going to be? Do we get the Disney deal now? Like the Aaron Rodgers deal, the Patrick Mahomes? Do we get the Disney deal?
Well, what we are going to see is they're going to be the sponsor of the Plan Disney. Is that what they're calling that now?
Yeah, Plan Disney podcast. That was the exciting thing I saw. A new podcast called Plan Disney for planning Disney trips, and that's as
part of the panel Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney has done some podcasts in the past. You know, they come and go, but hopefully this one stays. That's pretty exciting to get an official podcast. I hope they do a good job with that.
And then later this year in September, they're going to celebrate the neighbors who do wonderful things in your area. That's one of the things that they kind of launched the celebration with. A 10-year-old who has teamed with her mother for a lemonade business that's made a tremendous impact in her community. They're sending her family to Walt Disney World. They also gave her $10,000 to donate to a charity and a beautiful machine that will allow her to stop doing it quite so by hand. So no, it was a lovely announcement on Good Morning America. My favorite tweet in regards to this came from Jake from State Farm. He said, "Be right back, going to Disney."
I love that Jake from State Farm has its own Twitter account. Also, the other big news I saw in this is they're going to be the new sponsor of the Disney World Marathon, which is so appropriate because if I ever did such a thing, you would need their insurance for me. So that would.
And
this is our insurance company. They do have my life insurance.
They're sponsoring I believe they're the new sponsor of the Field House at ESPN.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
they had been the Milk House.
And the State Farm Water Park at Disney Springs. Which is what?
Isn't it the stage at the water park? Yeah, so
I think it's that. I think it's that amphitheater area there by Aqua Cars.
Jock Lindsay's, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that place.
State Farm does have some fun commercials. So that was kind of the news of today. So we started with that. But the bigger news, which we will segue into via the reason we're doing the show today, is yesterday was President's Day. And Disneyland, to celebrate President's Day, procured one of the most famous patriots in history, Sam. Is it Sam Eagle or Sam the Eagle?
I've heard
Sam
both.
Eagle, yeah.
Right. Smokey the Bear to
Not Peppa the Pig.
to declare that Disneyland is the most patriotic place on earth.
If I hit play, can everybody hear it?
Disneyland? Why, it's the most patriotic place on earth.
Yes.
Well, yes.
It's the happiest place on earth.
Same thing. To spend the day strolling down Main Street, USA, saluting as they raise the flag in the town square.
There you go. And he pontificated as he always does.
So Sam the Eagle has said Disneyland is from now henceforth known as the most patriotic place on earth. And to celebrate, the very next day, Disneyland has announced the patriotic finale to the Main Street Electrical Parade is no more.
No more bacon.
Can I make an observation about the Sam Eagle thing?
Yes.
I thought for sure the cynic in me when I started watching that, I was like, oh, it's just the puppet in front of a green screen. They shot a plate of the Capitol building and the Main Street Opera House. They put him in there, but no, at the end you can see the puppeteer's shadow moving against the Capitol. I was like, wow, they're actually shooting in there.
Rebecca,
Mike, you saw Sam's shadow.
Yes,
shadow,
sorry.
Gotta say it now. It's 2:22 on 2/22/22. Everyone, enjoy this moment for a
Yay.
Okay, it's over now.
Okay. All right, go back. So anyway, we have some big news in the world of Disney entertainment. The Electrical Parade will be returning on April 22nd, which is only 2 months away from right now. And when it returns, the Bacon Float, the patriotic finale, the Salute to America out of there. And in its place will be a salute to every country and not only America. With Encanto, The Jungle Book, Raya, The Last Dragon, Aladdin, Coco, Mulan, Brave, The Princess and the Frog, and more.
Hercules.
Like Hercules. So that got Grease in there. Are these like little like baby Muppet kind of things?
It's a small world.
Mary Blair inspired.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mary Blair inspired. There's a 5-legged goat in here somewhere.
Probably.
So this is actually, you can tell clearly this is a reimagining of the Bacon Float. So
I wouldn't even call it reimagining. I'd call it reskinning. Until you get to it, I like how they just kind of attach the blue fairy to the front, and in the back it looks like it's a new part of the float, which it's great because It's a Small World was the original ending to the parade for 4 years. So it's great that it's going back to its original feel, and that way they can include everything, including the great country of Arendelle.
Do you guys anticipate that the music that we'll find, will they pull from what we have with Dreamlights, or will they kind of go back to the way that it was, long ago when It's a Small World was part of the Electrical Parade, where it kind of, it went back and forth between It's a Small World and other Disney melodies. I think Hi-Ho maybe predominantly.
I don't know. That was the one question I had is, the Salute to America float was kind of the excellent finale, and then It's a Small World, if you go back and listen to the original music, was a little like it fit at the time, but the changes that they've done over the years, it kind of fell out, and then the America, I think, is so stuck in everybody's head. I'm sure that we'll have It's a Small World and the Bro Down mixed together, hopefully perfectly.
I would like to commend Rebecca on how she handled that very wide concept art, scrolling slowly as we talk.
Very good.
Excellent job.
I'm just happy to see the Blue Fairy back.
Me too.
I
Because
mean,
Tinkerbell leads the parade now. For all of our time, Blue Fairy led the parade, and everyone just thought it was Tinkerbell. But now Tinkerbell leads it, and it's nice to see the Blue Fairy back.
And as someone who adored the album, that official album for so many decades, it had the It's a Small World melody still in there, even though that parade unit had kind of gone away. Because, the parade started in 1972, and then in 1974, it took a brief hiatus over the period when we had, the America on parade. and then when it came back, obviously we're approaching the centennial, bicentennial in the nation. So there was a lot of excitement over that. So 76, it makes sense to have that enormous, a patriotic flag coming down the thoroughfare. So I'm excited to, see this new edition. It's nice that we have more modern films once again featured in a parade on Main Street. I mean, that's another aspect of this. Hopefully we'll have a daytime parade soon, but hey, I'm patient.
I'm okay with the switch from America to all this. I mean, I love the American float. I'd rather it stay, but I'm okay. What I am going to miss are the
high steppers.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Haven't they been gone for a while? Hadn't they already been gone?
No, they were, when it came back to Disneyland the last time. They had them just carrying the finale banner, they weren't marching along like they used.
Oh, really? I didn't remember that. I'm sorry, but that was, as my friend used to say, Daddy's favorite part of the electrical parade. So, but this is actually exciting. Do you expect that the music is going to be Small World over it?
I would guess that they will definitely put the Small World. I don't think we'll be hearing the mix of the Encanto and all the different songs. I would love that, but they trying to incorporate that, go into the electric music. I mean, they're going to have a hard enough time readjusting the opening so people's heads don't explode.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Gio. Gio had a question.
Oh, no. I mean, you said you were talking about it.
Okay. Also returning very soon. April 22nd will be World of Color, which will make a certain LPer extremely happy. And the Disneyland Forever fireworks. And on May 28th, a little more than a month after that, the return of Fantasmic.
Yes.
Does that make you happy, Jeremiah?
I will be out for that one. That one, Mike, sorry, you're going to have to come to Florida to cover something out here. I'll go cover that one for you.
Well, you're welcome to go to Disneyland because I'll be at Star Wars Celebration.
Perfect.
And with regard to the return of nighttime entertainment, Disneyland Forever fireworks will be weekends only, and then they'll have projection version of Mickey's Mix Magic will perform during the week until late spring, and then Disney Forever will go nightly once summer season begins.
So this is everything. May 28th, Disneyland is 100% back.
No, there's no Magic Happens yet.
You might want to. No, we do hope for a daytime parade to return, but
I want Magic Happens back, even with Todrick's disappointing performance on Big Brother. But I'm not going to get into that.
Not only is this a great comment, this may be the best screen name we've ever put up here, Bubba Cheez-It. So.
We're with you, Bubba.
Bubba
We're excited for nighttime shows to return to Disneyland. You betcha.
Yeah, if you want to have a good time, talk to Rebecca about what's going on in Big Brother with our favorite parade.
No, move on. And yes, magic does happen every day at Disneyland, but there hasn't been such a good soundtrack for parade. If you haven't listened or watched the Disneyland Magic Happens parade, it is a total pick-me-up. It is like, Eye of the Tiger, but for Disney fans. You put that on and you are ready to tackle the day.
Well, this makes me have a question.
Okay.
Mike Celestino, what is your Tackle the Day song?
Oh, good question. Oh boy. Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves.
Excellent.
No, I don't know.
I thought that was a great choice.
No, it is a good one. It's a good one. I thought it was like a guilty pleasure.
No, that's a great song.
Okay,
that's a good one. That song that you put in your car, right? And you turn it up all the way because you have to go do something. You got to go climb a mountain.
It's going to be really fun when the sun crashes into the earth. That's going to be like the last song everyone plays. That will be good.
Wow. Got really dark around here.
Speaking of last days, on March 9th, Toontown, those doors will be closed. It's going to be weird to have the gates of Toontown closed again, but that happens on March 9th. However, they're going to reopen in early 2023. And while there will be some changes, they have let us know that Roger's Cartoon Spin, Mickey's House, and Minnie's House will remain. However, Gadget's Go Coaster, Goofy's House, and Donald's Boat are set to be reimagined. What do you guys, how reimagined are you guys thinking Gadget Coaster will be? I'm going to ask Mike since he's only ridden it once.
Well, as people have pointed out, we are getting a new Rescue Rangers movie this year, so it would be odd timing for them to get rid of the only Rescue Rangers attraction at the same time. So hopefully it just becomes more of a what?
No, I see Jeremiah ready to chime in with why that may not be so surprising. Jeremiah.
Country Bear Jamboree movie. I don't see Gadget being returning as a theme, sadly. I'm sure that we'll get like Mickey's Runaway Freeway ride or something that'll tie in with his house. But I'm excited to see what they do. I'll miss Toontown, but Toontown hasn't been the same since Jolly Trolley closed 20 years ago.
What do you in the artwork, Mike? Is there anything in particular that's jumped out at you that you're looking forward to when Toontown reopens, other than the obvious big ticket?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with Donald and Goofy's. They haven't said what's becoming of those yet, no, right?
Mm-mm.
So I'm guessing those are just going to go away and they'll put something else in their place, right? It's not like just going to get a repaint or anything.
I would guess so.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the structures, well, maybe the Goofy house structure doesn't go away, but once it is once again redone in some way, because it's already been, in essence, gutted and redone before, because it had initially been a bounce house. And then it became kind of a walkthrough kind of experience. So I wouldn't be surprised if kind of its innards are transformed again, but externally it still looks similar.
But one of the things they've announced is this kind of new Toontown park thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you expect that to at least encroach somewhat on Donald's boat and Goofy's house?
I think that it's probably Goofy's and Donald's will just be gone because they can't do anything with Goofy's really. And Donald, that hasn't been an experience for many years. Like you couldn't go upstairs anymore. The slide was closed. So just going all the way over to Gadgets, just leveling it, turning it into more of a play area with splash pad.
So the big reason for this change, of course, is the big, huge new attraction coming to Toontown, which is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is already a huge hit in Florida and expected to be a huge hit here. And one of the nice things about that is that will draw tons of people to the back of the park, where they will also get to experience another great attraction that probably doesn't get the love it quite deserves. And some of us are surprised it's still sticking around through this, which is Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. But they did officially announce Cartoon Spin would be remaining, and I expect that to see some queues going higher and higher, which is great as it spreads people all around the park. So this Toontown change will be a big deal, and I'm looking forward to it.
And the other thing we're all keeping our eyes on is whether or not they're going to, it seems challenging, but whether or not they're going to find a way to connect it so that it doesn't become a dead end. If there's some way that you can traverse from there to another realm, west, and on another planet. But we'll see if that, like I say, there's a lot of infrastructure kind of in between Toontown and Galaxy's Edge that's used for operations. So we're not sure if that's something that they'd be able to manage or not. So time will tell. But that's one of the things that people have been keeping their eye on.
But I mean, Runaway Railway has been under construction for quite a while. It's all indoor, and considering this is going to be down for looks like about a year, one would hope that a part of the reason for that extensive downtime is to create something like that. How long does it take to make a park? As we know over at Mr. Toad, you plant some grass, it grows. It doesn't take any time at all.
And Kyle points out long ago the fast pass to Roger Rabbit was separate from the rest of the system.
And Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters. You could you could hold one of those and a different fast pass at the same time.
It was always fun when you discovered that. You're like, ooh, I have a secret.
So that's Toontown over at Disneyland. Next, we're going to talk about not Disneyland, not Disney World, but a whole new type of experience, a way to live in Disney without living at Disney. Storyliving by Disney. Rebecca, I'll let you intro this.
Well, this is a new, somewhat new arena that we're seeing the Disney company enter. They're taking this idea that they have this Disney placemaking, the way that they have the Disney resorts, they've had the DVC, the cruise line, Adventures by Disney, all these different ways that they bring that Disney attention to detail, that Disney service to areas beyond the theme parks. Now they're going to bring it into a designed community, and there's a company out there that's been building various communities around the nation, DMB Development. They've been doing this for about 30 years, and their latest project is called no, there's no N, it's Cotino. Always want to call it Contino, but it's Cotino, and it's going to be out in the deserts of California. And it's a designed community that's going to have this Disney overlay. A portion of it will be dedicated to the 55 and over community, but it's not entirely that. But it's I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing right now, but I'm amazed. I am totally amazed and impressed by this, because they're bringing lakefront property to the desert of the deserts of California. These crystal lagoons are things that are popping up more and more around the U.S. I think the first one was built in Florida, and you'll have this beautiful crystal clear waters. They'll have a beach area, and these types of things will be available for the residents, but you can purchase day passes if you aren't a resident of the community. The way that the DMV group kind of summed it up is it's a 618-acre project. It's going to have about 2,000 residences. It's going to have a beachfront hotel. This grand oasis area, kind of recreational, is going to be about 24 acres. And this is part of the Disney Storyliving. Are you guys signing up?
As Gio so eloquently pointed out, we could start living there in just 4 years. So some interesting things. I mean, I think it's a great idea, obviously. It's weird that it's about 2 hours from a theme park. So I honestly would not want to spend my waning days that far from a Disney park just to be in the Disney experience. But some of the interesting stuff, they put out Josh DeMero put out a video talking about it. And some of the interesting things in there I found was, I just found it funny that he mentioned that it's going to be done by experienced home builders. And
I hope so.
Fans of Celebration may remember that Celebration has had, which was Disney's original town, that it was done differently. They owned Celebration, but had some major structural issues years down the road with some of their homes. So I feel like he intentionally said experienced home builder. That just made me laugh.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, this is not the same as Celebration. Disney basically...
We lived in Celebration.
As described, yeah, you should. As described to me, Disney basically is a fancy homeowners association here. So it's like a lot of people are saying, why is Disney getting into this new business or investing in this new business? And from what I understand, they're not really. This is kind of a low risk thing. There's not a whole lot of money Disney's going to outlay. The companies, what was the name of that company? The builder.
DMB developers.
Yeah, this is their risk,
and
they're hiring Disney.
Yeah, they've built locations like Ladera Ranch was the one that I had been previously familiar with.
So this is their risk. They're hiring Disney and they're licensing Disney, and Disney's going to do a lot of work on it and then be get in the HOA business. But for as far as Disney's pocketbook, this should only be a positive or a neutral. It shouldn't be some big, huge investment. So it seems like a fun idea. I would want to live in one of these as long as it was closer to the park.
The other aspect of it that is they have like a voluntary membership idea where they're going to have various events that are related to like Disney stuff. So when we moved to Celebration, was it still Disney owned when we first moved there?
Yes.
And so you can get a sense at times with certain of the events that there was still a kind of a Disney influence within some of the kind of little holiday season events or whatever. And so I'm interested to see, I guess for me, when I first learned about this, I think I would want to know kind of what length of commitment am I signing up for? Because like those bricks, right, that you bought around the world, they told you even, it was like, well, we only really guarantee that this brick will exist for, this many years. And that's kind of, when I'm buying into something like this, is this Disney commitment something I can count on in perpetuity? Or are we looking at, well, you'll get this many years out of it, but they may or may not, hang around depending on things. Because that's an awfully big investment on my side in a location and all of these things if that element isn't there. But see, I think, Doobie, that you're a bit unique within the marketplace because of your desire for how frequently you visit the theme parks. I know that there is a large customer base like that, but I think there's also a very large, probably even larger customer base that doesn't frequent Disney parks quite as often as you want to. And I'm intrigued to see if something like this will appeal to them. And like Kyle points out, it is a mixed use community intended to be, all your wants and needs can be fulfilled right there within the location, your restaurants, your entertainment, all that right there.
And I'm curious, Celebration was really billed as the idyllic, small town, very strict rules on a lot of things. And I'm curious if they're going to go that route here, or, the visuals of it is not that. The visuals are much more modern.
Mm-hmm.
So how different it'll be. I love Celebration. I am the definition of a Stepford husband. I believe in conformity. I loved living in Celebration. I would buy there in a heartbeat, and I would keep my lawn just the way they want me to. I would dress the way they want me to, and be extremely happy for the rest of my life.
We could not be more different in that way. But what are the lines that jumped out to me on the Storyliving by Disney website? And this is obviously, once I read it, you'll know why. It's like, of all the destinations in the world, Walt chose Palm Springs as his favorite special retreat. As he referred to it, his laughing place.
Aww.
A little laughing place.
We got to mention, I like Geo's. By Disney, by that logic, might as well build one in Kansas City. In Chicago, he was born there. I hear he once traveled to Phoenix. So, South America.
South America would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike, is there any part of you that would like to live in a community like this?
I would sure like to visit, and I think it looks very nice. But as I told Rebecca when we were first talking about this, my wife and I both have Disney-centric jobs, and we both very much like being able to leave the Disney bubble. So I don't think it's someplace we would settle permanently.
Wow. And my dream would be living on a Disney cruise ship and never, ever, ever have to leave the Disney bubble.
They're hiring, Doobie, if you want to do that.
What appeals to me the most in this project is that amazing Crystal Lagoon technology. I didn't even know these things exist. This introduced me to this. It's like a pool, but like but because of the technology, they can do it with incredibly reduced energy resources, incredibly reduced chemicals. It's very, very kind of environmentally friendly and compared to like a chlorinated pool, but it's crystal clear water. I even saw one that they set them like in the middle of the ocean. So it's like this part of like a lake or something, but then that portion of it is like crystal clear with its beautiful turquoise waters. And it can even be heated. I think these are some of the things that we see like often in Dubai, or these other places where they have to be really climate controlled because it can be so intensely hot, or similarly places that are super cold, so they can be domed and then temperature controlled, because they can have a portion of it can be heated, so it can be used in the cooler weather. Yeah, super awesome. I was so pumped. That's what appealed to me.
You just mentioned that, and I looked it up, and now I want to live there just for the Oasis.
Right?
It's so awesome. So beautiful.
I believe Margaritaville down the road from Walt Disney World has one of those too. So you guys can buy the timeshare down there.
I have no even earthly idea, because I don't look at prices of homes yet. I'm still in renter mindset.
As a lot of you know, I'm kind of a real estate mogul, and I know these things. And I would say in today's prices, a lot would be my guesstimate.
I'll go with that number too, Julie. That sounds pretty good.
So that Storyville, that has the potential to be by far the biggest story we talk about this week, but we won't know for several years to come. So let's move on to something we do know about, something that is a huge story right now, and that is the Galactic Starcruiser. Mike, if you had a chance to look at that awesome video Disney put out last week.
I did. It had my buddy Matt Martin in it.
Oh, well, that's why I watched it.
Name drop.
Tell us
I've
more,
met him
Mike.
3 times. Yeah, it's just Lucasfilm Story Group member Matt Martin talking with one of the other guys who helped design the Galactic Starcruiser, and they showed some new footage. I think it's all very well shot, and they took a different approach to the marketing this time. Try to make it look a little bit more like story and action oriented, and how each part of the ship appeals to different age groups and stuff like that. So I think they did learn a little bit of a lesson from the feedback and the criticisms they got from the last round of marketing they put out from this.
And it worked on you. You're a little more excited.
I mean, I was excited already and very, very curious to check it out. But yeah, I would say if I weren't going for work, this would have sold me on it a little bit better than the other ones did. Yeah.
So I need to watch the video because I haven't watched it, just because I know that we are coming up to experiencing some of it. So I want to go in there kind of as blind as possible. But
you don't have that luxury. You have a job. Upside, you don't pay for it. Downside,
Okay,
you get spoiled.
Then Jeremiah, you would have to mute me for a few seconds, because one of the things that I found interesting about the video was that I'm always very bad at keeping timeline in mind. So this let me know that it's between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. And so now I very much have the timeline in mind. And because of that, there seems to be they're setting us up for Rey and Kylo appearing somehow, some way within your adventure on board. And those seem to be kind of the major talking points that got, a buzz around, especially among shippers for Kylo Ren. So
they're not gonna kiss. I don't think they're gonna kiss.
Why not?
So the talk is no, not yet, Jeremiah. So the talk is, they hope, people hope. It's a romantic setting. We know another couple had a honeymoon on board.
I for whatever reason, I had always assumed it was set during the same period as Galaxy's Edge because it connects to it. So I guess I had just thought from the beginning it would be between 8 and 9. But the tidbit that they dropped in this commercial that addressed one of the criticisms was that people were saying, oh, it's too bright and shiny to be Star Wars, because Star Wars has always lived in and beat up and everything. And they said, oh, the ship has been restored to the way it looked on its very first flight hundreds of years earlier. So they kind of gave an in-universe explanation for why everything's so clean looking.
The data bands are not the Magic Band 2.0 yet. They haven't made it in. They're still on a shipment, cargo shipment heading to the Halcyon, as far as I know.
So yeah, we're all eagerly waiting for more experiences and tidbits from on board the Galactic Starcruiser. So stay. Oh, who's that?
This is Lucy. This is how I distract everybody. Don't bite me. This is how I distract everybody from the Starcruiser talk.
Oh, Lucy's cute.
I can't remember, Mike. Do we yet know who is going on the Starcruiser for Laughing Place?
We do, but I'm not sure how much we're allowed to talk about it yet.
Yeah, nope.
Well, you can definitely talk that you will be there day after tomorrow, Mike. If everybody else is talking about it, you can say that you will be there the day after tomorrow.
I think Mike knows what I was referring to, and that's fine. All right. And then, of course, we should point out, and yay for everyone going on the Starcruiser that doesn't want to have to mask, they no longer do. Masking is now done at both the Disneyland Resort and the Walt Disney World Resort, inside, out, and all around. If you are unvaccinated, it is recommended that you mask indoors.
And it is very strange to walk into shops now. I've enjoyed watching the cast members look at me as I walk in without my mask and go, oh, never mind.
And the rule does apply to guests and cast members.
Yes.
All right. The real reason.
And that's true. That lifted at Disneyland Resort as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have not been there in a week or two, so.
Yep. All right. Now on to the most important thing we will talk about today, and that is the debut of a brand new theme park in Central Florida, perhaps the greatest theme park ever created. Jeremiah, talk about it.
Peppa Pig Park. This park I've watched grow from a parking lot for Legoland Florida to an actual park. It opens up on this Thursday, the 24th. It is designed for the little kids. Like, think of Legoland as kind of Gideon to maybe 8 or 7. This one is designed for the 1 to 4 or 5. And it's a fun park. Like, I went in there kind of going, okay, this isn't for me. I actually had a lot of fun. The roller coaster is quite enjoyable. The potato show with Peppa and George was fun. Oh, are we showing? It's a pretty decent roller coaster. You go around twice. It equals about a minute. The top speed is 16 miles per hour. So hang on to those hats and glasses.
It's the mildest ride in the wilderness.
Yes.
Very
Well
good.
done.
I like that. Our own Chris Rex was able to visit with his young son, who's in the target range for this theme park. He wrote kind of a father's review of the experience, letting you know a little bit more from that angle. His son loved this coaster. From what I understand, he rode it about 10 or more times.
Yeah, the first time he went on it, the first go around, he wasn't liking it. But the second go around, it got fun. And then as it pulled in, they got back on. And then they got back on again. And then by the end of the day, it was 10 times. So he technically rode that coaster in 20 times around.
And as he pointed out, the park is very child-friendly in what they offer. Food-wise, you've got the kids' favorites, mac and cheese, grilled cheese, simple cheese, pizza. And they've also teamed with the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards to make sure that they give you information in regards to making the best choices for your family, especially if you have a child with autism. They give you a sensory guide for the various experiences throughout the park. So very interesting and kind of a different element to theme parks with we're seeing here with Peppa Pig.
And they one of the things with the, I don't want to call it accreditation, but with the sensory guides and the teaming, they trained all of their employees to be prepared in case some kids may have some challenges. I was talking with some of the management there, and that's one of the things that they did, not just at Peppa Pig, but also at Legoland and the hotels. So everybody there has a good idea. So if, as it was said, if somebody sees a meltdown coming, instead of finding a way to stop it, they find a way to help it calm down.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Training. I'm curious. So it looks like the typical price for it is $31 online, $35 if you go, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's often sold with Legoland, so you can park out between the two. But question: normally theme parks are free for guests under 3. Is that the case here?
You know, that's an excellent question. I want to say no, it is not, because this is actually designed for them.
I'm trying to find out on their website, and I'm not succeeding. So
and by the way, Laughing Place needs to invest in those pillows for everybody. They have these giant pillows that's in the cinema, and then they have it at the show. And I don't think that any of the pictures actually made it, but there is an amazing picture of me filming the show, laying across the pillow, just too comfortable.
Yeah, Chris did warn that these are amazingly comfortable. I saw in his review, because although I think I got the impression it may not have been the easiest for him to get back up out of, and he is a very, very tall man. So
it's a one-way trip.
So,
a one-way trip for some of us, but it looks very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Mike Celestino, any interest whatsoever in visiting Peppa Pig World?
I will say I watched all of the videos because I was making thumbnails the other day, and the dino ride actually, I kind of want to go on that.
That both Chris and I said we both gave that the highest ranked of any attractions, and we were talking to some of the cast members or the employees out there, and they said that most adults, when they asked what their favorite ride was the dinosaur ride, and it's it's kind of just a simple horse ride, a figure eight, but it was so much fun.
And I think Chris mentioned you can ride that one with your kid, and that's always a fun experience because his kid, I believe, he said was 2 years old.
Yeah.
One of my favorite videos from the media day was our friend Matt Roseman from Attractions Mag on board the dino. Like a big grown adult. So I got a kick out of that. So that cracks me up.
Gio said if it was Bluey, his niece would want to go, but surprisingly doesn't like Peppa Pig. That is a surprise because Peppa Pig was the bomb diggity in our house to the point our kid was walking around going Zed.
Yep, he would say his letters from A to Z, and he would talk about zebras on the safari.
It's cute.
So
Daddy Pig.
Somewhere in this house, we still have some Peppa Pig toys off in the corner somewhere.
I hope so.
I know Jeremiah's wearing his Peppa mouse ears. Just kidding.
Pig ears.
Pig ears. I know.
Are those light up or just very bright pink?
Very bright pink.
Very bright pink.
They're
Peppa
cute,
Pig
yeah.
pink. See? We're doing the Peppa Pig pink.
So that it's ironic that just as Disneyland gets rid of the bacon, Legoland adds the bacon.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
Thank you. All right, let's see, what time is it? Some quick Disney Cruise Line news. The Wish has been floated out. They have verified that it will in fact float on water, which is a very, very important criteria for actually launching the Disney Wish. They've also revealed the stern. We knew what it was going to be, but now we get to see it. The beautiful Rapunzel stern as she is letting down her hair.
And they let us know she's wearing a size 22 shoe.
That's bigger than she.
Or I guess not wearing a size 22 shoe.
Yeah, where's the shoe?
That's silly.
Also, they have revealed a little bit more what's going to be on the Wish instead of the Sugar Rush themed sweets and ice cream place. They're going to have Inside Out. So whatever your mood, you're ready for some ice cream. And this is pretty fun looking. I love that they're taking a similar concept but using a different theme for it, so each ship can still have its own feel. It's kind of disappointing when they just totally duplicate something on a new ship.
Yeah.
This makes me very happy.
And it just hit me. Instead of the Sugar Rush car for all of the yummies, can we get maybe Bing Bongs?
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's a great
The
idea.
rocket ship.
Yeah, because I have two of them now because I love them, but the Vanellope's race car is how you get your ice cream served. And by the way, don't forget, you can purchase it at Vanellope's and you can tell them the information about your dining, and then it can arrive at your table, at your dining location as your dessert, and everybody in the place can be jealous.
It's really cool. That's
It's
a
really
great
fun.
feature. Yeah. And then also San Diego, those of you who like to cruise out of California, San Diego is going to have its longest season thus far, starting in October and going all the way till March of next year. So, of course, with Disney adding a whole new ship, places that don't get the ship before or only got it for a limited amount of time, that'll expand. And we have 2 more ships coming online in the next few years. So many more opportunities expected to cruise around the world. I don't expect all 7 will be docked at Port Canaveral. That would just be silly. So that's exciting. Quick question for you guys: Do you have the Buck Wild sand sculpture?
Wait, what did you say?
The item number 13 on our
Animal
list.
No, but
Kingdom.
I thought you said spam filter for some reason, but what did you say?
Sand sculpture.
Thank
Sand
you.
sculpture.
Is Skynet trying to take over?
So at Animal Kingdom, where they often will do sand sculptures for various reasons, they now have one for, what is this actually called? Ice Age Buck Wild?
Yes.
Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild.
Thank you, Mr. Nomenclature. So you go to a Disney park and you see a Fox animated movie. Now, Disney owns Fox now. There's nothing wrong with this, but do you find it odd, disconcerting, weird? Never give it a second thought? Mike.
I would have been taken aback, if I went and saw that. Yeah, but it's interesting and fun that they're integrating those characters into the Disney parks. You think we'll get more Ice Age in the parks?
Dinoland USA
climate
is gonna
change
be
and all.
completely redone,
Wait.
Ice Age themed.
Can
Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Oh, I can see that happening.
can I point out something?
Yeah.
This isn't in the park.
Oh,
Is it outside the park?
Oh no, yes, it's out.
Okay.
Yes, yes, it's before you go through the turnstiles.
But you see it when you go to Animal Kingdom.
But but in all honesty, I truly wondered if that was a deliberate thing or not. Like,
They had the Buck Wild poster on the back of the Chinese theater at Hollywood Studios.
okay,
so.
thank you. Because that's what I was wondering. Because like with the monorail, I just remember all the talk with different things, how corporate things can have weird guidelines. So I wasn't sure if this was one of the things where it could be adjacent, but it can't be interior, so I just wanted to be sure. But as in regards to this, I would have been surprised until I saw the Disney Plus. And then I would have I would have made the wrong, then I would not have realized that it truly was under the Disney umbrella unless I did research. I would have just thought, oh, how cool. This not Disney thing is appearing on Disney Plus.
But there's also like we are, I want to say sadly we're in the minority of people that go, wait, Ice Age isn't Disney? Oh, I thought it was.
Justin Smith thought it was weird. Gio knows
Justin
people who
Smith.
thought it was weird, and Gio knows everyone. Mike, you were going to say something?
yeah, this is a fun Ice Age tidbit about me. I was a video game tester for a few years, and I worked on one of the Ice Age games, and my name's in the credits of Ice Age 2.
Electric
Wow,
Boogaloo?
Cool. So someday I would like a list of every job and experience Mike has had in his life. I have a feeling that it's humongous and worthy of envy.
Yeah, I'm a regular Zelig.
Exactly.
Sorry.
I don't even know what that word means.
Jack
Whereas
of all trades.
Jeremiah, waiter, theme park guy. Have you
I
done
counted,
that?
I counted beads at a jewelry wholesaler
Yeah.
for a year. That is probably the job that I will always go, yep, worst job I ever had.
But now, in all seriousness, Juby, your job, your paycheck has always been for the same.
Oh yeah.
Same.
I've been a paid computer programmer since I was about 16 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because mine has been kind of like here and there. I've done a variety of things, but yours has always been, this is the job I do. I do it for this company or this company or this company. It's always this.
I'm good at one thing. It's luckily that it makes money.
I've been a janitor. I've been a research assistant in a television studio. I've done any number of things.
Well, I've programmed in C, I've programmed in Pascal, I've programmed in C#, Visual
Are we
Basic.
back to Rapunzel again?
The same thing. Justin, I'm guessing, got your reference, Mike, so it did not go unrecognized.
Had somebody out there.
Last thing I think I wanted to show was the baby care center at the Magic Kingdom, which is reimagined with an Alice in Wonderland theme. And mostly I wanted to mention this because I want to make sure everyone knows that every theme park at Disney has a baby care center, and they're an awesome place to take your little one for a rest for both you and them. And I think they're underutilized and should not be, because thank you, Disney, for having them. They're 100% free. You can go in there, you can nurse, you can just relax. They have places usually where the kids can just kind of sit on their knees and play with some little toy while you sit in some air conditioning. And
is my screen going dark for you guys too?
It just went dark,
Yeah, sorry.
So thanks, Disney, for that. And thank you for showing that you still care about it by actually upgrading the one at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that one's been under work for quite a while. They put temporary ones behind Carousel of Progress in the former GE VIP lounge for a little while, and now they're just finished up. So I hopefully can get in there at some point on a tour, because it's awkward to go in there, much like Peppa Pig, as just a grown man.
Well, you need a child. You don't have a child. You could just stand around, grab a child, do that type of thing. I have a child. I have a child.
One of these days, I'll have to borrow my nephew and go in and wait until it's empty and just us and aren't my nephew.
We should ask a sibling to get some pictures there. How could I miss this story? price increases since our last show. I didn't even see that going through our list. What, Jeremiah?
It didn't go through our list. It wasn't one of the things. It was just a basic, the yearly kind of bump
There's
up.
no
of price.
just a basic. Every park increase deserves an article. Every price increase deserves an article. So whoever did not do that article, you're on my list.
Not my department.
Dummy. So we're wrapping up now, Mr.
I'm waiting to see if Kyle has something to say to me. But yes, we're wrapping up. I expect a link coming anytime now. Yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Disney Park Talk Live on this 2/22/22, where we were broadcasting at 2:22. It was so exciting. If you missed that, you can rewind back to the moment. It was a pretty big celebration. We'll be back next Monday in all likelihood. So much going on between now and then. Can't wait to talk about stuff happening this week. Mike, look at that. I've never seen Mike's eyes quite that excited. And I was at his wedding, so that's really scary. I was at his wedding.
I didn't know you when I got married. I was like...
No excuse, man. I expect to be invited, and I'm a little disappointed I wasn't.
Carrying a grudge all these years later.
In just less than an hour, we've got another show coming up here. Rebecca, you want to preview that at all?
Barely Necessities. There's some new Doonies we're going to be talking about, some new Disney Cruise Line merchandise. There's also a few actually Cruise Line Doonies as well. But some new jewelry is coming from Rock Love. Lots of stuff that we will be talking about on Barely Necessities. It's live. We talk about Disney merchandise. We love to hear what you think of what we're showing. And if there's something that you've spotted that you want to make sure that we let people know about, feel free to drop that into the chat as well. We will be live at 4:00. So I get to get ready for that next.
Yeah, she's got to run over to Studio B. So she'll make it, though. 52 minutes until that show launches. And then at 7:30 p.m. Pacific tonight, 10:30 p.m. Jeremiah time, we will be doing Disney Trivia Live, myself and my son. 2 trivia contests, always a blast. Today's contests are What's This, Volume 8, and Name That Video, which Name That Video is kind of a new concept for us, so that'll be fun. And Jeremiah, we have one for you now. Stump Jeremiah, Keep Your Job. So whenever you have a Saturday free, preferably, but we can do Tuesday if we have to, you are going to be playing for your job. Always a good time.
Let's do it tonight.
But not tonight. So, are you available tonight?
Yes.
It might happen.
You guys talk offline.
We'll see if I can get it in. All right. Rebecca says, I got stuff to get ready for. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, fellas. Thank you out there. Bye, everyone.